What is going on YouTube? It's your boy JR here. We are back with another video, and in this video we're going to be reviewing my time, which has been almost 2 weeks, with the iPhone 16 Pro Max in black titanium. So without further ado, let's get into it. A couple things I want to talk about is how the design has been since I've used it. You know, it's a 6.9-inch screen, and how different it is from the 15 Pro Max, which was 6.7 inches. Now, there's not much that's changed with the design besides the size itself. Same ceramic shield. The apps and everything that have been on the phone that I've used, everything's been pretty much the same as far as the text size, as far as the applications loading and how they look. I mean, you really can't tell a visual difference when you're looking at the phone as far as the 6.9-inch display is concerned. It's not a bad thing, to be honest with you. The 6.9 inches, I think that's more so geared towards, you know, photography and looking at media, things like that. When it comes to looking at Netflix and Hulu and all these different streaming services, whether you're on YouTube looking at videos or whatnot, you can tell when you're looking at it from that perspective. Now, from a physical perspective, in holding the phone in my hand, I can definitely tell a difference in the 6.9-inch display. Looking at it, you can definitely tell that the bezels have gotten smaller and you have more screen. Take a look at my wallpaper. Yeah, if you know, you know. And I think that it's just been a delight to really have that extra 0.2 inches. I've always liked big phones. I've always been a fan of the Pro Max version since they started coming out with it. So I gotta say, if you're looking for a big difference between the 6.7 and 6.9, you won't necessarily be able to see it, but you will, I think, be able to feel it. And this is with no case on right now and just kind of swiping through different apps and looking at the aspect ratio of the apps. I mean, you can't really tell just looking at different things on the screen. Physically in your hand, you can feel the difference. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the performance A18 Pro chip. You really can't tell the difference. Apple always gives us it's so many percent faster. It's so much faster than the last year's chip. You know, they always give us these subtle, mysterious answers when it comes to how fast the current chip is to the previous generation chip. And I think that most of us have caught on to that, but we still choose to live in this fantasy world that it is faster. It definitely is faster than last year's chip, because Apple tells us that. And if they tell you that enough, your mind will begin to believe it. Now, I will say, and this has been across most generations that I've had them ever since the iPhone 10. Honestly, that's the first iPhone that I even had. When they got rid of the button, 10 on up, I've had them all since then. So those of you who have been like an Apple fanboy, Apple sheeps, whatever you want to call yourselves, you know better than I do where Apple started and where they are now. You can tell the difference, but I know for a fact that I can tell the difference in the performance. The A18 Pro chip has not disappointed me. There has been no lag, and this is on the actual iOS 18, not a beta version. There have been some issues where I've had to crash an app or close an app, force close an app, but that's more so due to probably me not closing apps and having a bunch of apps running, you know, and picking up or having the RAM packed up, you know, and having so many apps open at one time. But that's expected. But as far as just the everyday operation of the phone, opening it, getting where I need to get to, doing what I need to do, the A18 chip has been perfect. And I think the thing is I've used this phone so much because it is my main personal phone. I believe that I've just gotten accustomed to everything and how it operates on the phone, that it's just super fast for me, and I haven't had any issues with it. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is this battery life. Now, I gotta be honest, the battery life is great. To me, it is great. Now, you guys saw in one of my previous videos where I did a comparison between the watches and their battery lives. As far as my day-to-day, it pretty much goes the same Monday through Friday. I do the same thing. Now, with this battery, I have to admit, I shut down the day, I believe the first day or second day that I got the phone, with like 69%, I believe it was. And that says a lot, because the 15, I definitely was scared to not charge my phone after my lunch break at work, which is around like 12:30, 1:30 or something like that. I just hate to be caught in situations where, you know, my battery is in the red, you know, because you never know how the night might go and you need that extra battery life on your phone. I just want to always be prepared. Don't judge me. But anyway, the battery life on this has been spectacular. Now, I am a power user. I consider myself a power user anyway, because I do consume a lot of media. I play Clash of Clans a lot on my phone. I listen to music. I mean, like I said, I do all kind of media and text messaging and FaceTiming like crazy on my phone. And if you know one thing, FaceTiming will kill a battery. It will. Most of the time when I'm FaceTiming, if I can plug up my phone and charge it while I'm on the call, then I will. One thing I've noticed is that this phone definitely holds a charge better than my 15 did. And when I got rid of my 15, it left with a maximum capacity of 97%, which is not bad by any means. But I can definitely tell that the 16 Pro Max holds a much better charge, and I can tell that the battery life is definitely better on this phone. So if you're concerned about battery life, and I mean, Apple has boasted about the battery life on the 16 Pro Max, but if you're concerned about it from a real world user's perspective, I'll be the first to tell you. If I'm not the first, I'll just tell you again, the battery life is good. You won't have anything to worry about. Promise you. Last thing I want to talk about is the camera and the camera capture button that we have here on the side, which is new this year. Apple has always had the best cameras. They've always done really well with their pictures, the tones, the focus. And this is coming from an average user's perspective, because by no means am I a professional photographer. I'm more of a point and shoot kind of guy. The new ultra wide 48 megapixel ultra fusion supersonic camera that they have, or lens that they have, honestly, I couldn't really tell a difference based on the comparison to the 15 Pro Max. I mean, the ultra wide camera has always been nice to me, but I can say that I have noticed a difference when I'm recording. Switching between lenses is definitely smoother, because I can definitely tell when I'm switching from the telephoto lens to a wide angle lens, or, you know, between the three cameras, I can tell. Well, I used to be able to tell. And if I pay attention close enough now, I can tell. It's very, very subtle. You have to really be nitpicky about it. The 16 Pro Max has given me great pictures, great video quality, amazing stability. I mean, I can't boast enough on the stability, and it's just been a great camera. I mean, I don't think you'll have any problems with taking pictures or photos. The photography styles, they look pretty good. Honestly, I find myself, when I do record videos, I have to remind myself that I can do those things on the device now. Typically, I would go, you know, and post edit and change and color grade myself, but now I have to kind of remind myself, oh, I can do it on the device. Like, as soon as I finish recording, I can go straight to it. Not only that, with the camera capture button, I think it's a decent addition to the phone, but I also feel like it can be kind of gimmicky. I'm not necessarily certain that it's a necessity. I use it by accident more so than on purpose. All right, and that's not saying anything bad about Apple. That's just the fact that the way that the button is positioned right here, it's just yeah, it gets tapped by accident more, because it's like I'm holding the phone, and yeah, that's where I hold the phone, and it just automatically goes straight to the camera, and I'm like, oh, okay, I opened the camera, my bad, swipe up. I haven't had a bunch of opportunities to use the camera capture button. Whenever I do pull up my camera, I mean, I do press it, hold it. If it recognizes my face, you know, then I'll just go ahead and open it up. But the zoom has always just been easier for me to just tap and go. You know, I mean, I have to consciously remind myself to do these things here, and having to use the tone and, you know, like the different things here to swipe down. And I have to really remind myself. This is something I'm definitely gonna have to get used to as time goes on with the 16 Pro Max. But I feel like if they continue using this, if they continue to put this on like the 17, 18, if it does well enough on the 16 enough to stick around, I think people will get used to it, and you know, it could be beneficial. Last thing I'll say is, as far as the cons are concerned, because those were a lot of things that I like, a few of the things that I don't like, honestly, it's really me being real nitpicky about certain things. And I don't want to contradict anything I said about the pros, but as far as the design goes and the negatives about the phone, 6.9 inches is kind of a lot to hold. Pause. It's kind of a lot. 6.7 inches is, you know, kind of got used to that over a few generations of iPhones. But I think 6.9 inches, you can feel, like I said before, you can feel the difference. All right, and as far as the performance is concerned, like I said, I don't really have many cons about the performance. The A18 chip has been great. Honestly, sometimes I think I find myself when I'm typing and texting that my fingers move faster than the chip can process, you know. But then again, that could just be my mistake. I'm not sure. As far as the battery is concerned and the cons of the battery, there is no cons. I'll always be accepting of more battery life. You know, I keep a charger in every single place where I sit or stand. I got chargers right here, right now. Battery life, I have no cons when it comes to that. And as far as the camera is concerned, the camera capture button is probably my only thing where I can say, you know, I just hit it by accident a lot. You know, forgive me, Apple. I gotta get used to the fact that we have a camera capture button now, you know, that I have to kind of be conscious of. It's another thing I had to think of. Yeah, I know, but it is what it is. But overall, man, the 16 Pro Max has been a great phone to me, and it is honestly my default. It's my go-to whenever I need to talk to my family. And whenever I'm doing anything, I think if I have any calendar things that I need to save, if I have any of my banking apps, Apple Pay, all of that stuff, 16 Pro Max is my go-to. This is the one. Now I'll say it on this video right here, you know, because I am a tech reviewer. If I had to get rid of everything, I'd say the 16 Pro Max would definitely be the one that I would stick with. If I had to choose between one, the 16 Pro Max would probably be the one that I have to stick with, especially since they added RTS chat too. So let me know your feelings in the comments, man. I mean, don't be too hard on your boy. You know, I'm just giving you my review, in my opinion, review of the iPhone 16 Pro Max. It is a great phone. And I mean, it does kind of have its flaws, but most of those things are, you know, touch and go. And like, they may improve next year. They may improve with the next software update. It's always either a hardware or software thing, but this stuff can always improve, man. But anyway, let me know your feelings in the comments. If you like the video, hit that thumbs up button, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think. Please hit that subscribe button if you have not already. Turn on your bell notifications so you know when I'm posting videos. I'll holler at y'all on the next one. It's your boy JR. Peace.